Hey guys, no laptop news today, but I hope you are still going to enjoy this episode and learn something new. But just beware that we're going to be talking a lot about NVIDIA today, so if you're not interested in learning more about what this situation is with these new graphics cards that are possibly going to be announced and what everything else they got in the pipeline, then I guess this episode is not going to be for you. However, if you are interested in all of those things, then I think we should start with availability for the new RTX 30 series graphics cards and the RX 6000 graphics cards that AMD has been working on for so long. And the situation doesn't seem to be getting any better since last week both the companies have actually talked to their investors, and they said that all of these graphics cards that they have just released last year are not going to be available for purchase in such large quantities like we kind of expected them to be this year for yet another, I guess, 3 or 4 months, because NVIDIA said that availability is going to be lean all throughout Q1, with AMD saying that they are still working on getting these graphics cards on the hands of people, but also they would like to do it at MSRP, because if you guys have been wanting to get your hands on an RX 6000 GPU, you might have noticed that prices have been skyrocketing for them, especially if you live in Germany. In my case, I was looking for the 6800, 6800 XT and the 6900 XT just to see how prices are doing, and I've been pretty surprised, and not pleasantly surprised might I add, to see that these graphics cards can cost north of 1300 euros. And when you start thinking that they were supposed, or at least the 6900 XT was supposed to be 1000 euros, well, let's just say that this is not a good thing. Now, NVIDIA is also working on some other things, namely bringing back some things to life, and sadly, it's not the indefinitely postponed RTX 3080 Ti, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, then you can watch the video that Steve from Gamers Nexus has done, where he said that he heard from sources that the 3080 Ti has been postponed indefinitely. We don't know exactly when we're going to be seeing the 3080 Ti come to market, but I guess we're going to find out in about 2 or 3 weeks as more leaks come to, well, to the ears of people that should be reporting on those things. Now, nevertheless, I was saying that they're bringing something back to life, and I guess you are not going to be that happy to hear about it. Especially, I didn't feel particularly happy to hear that they might be bringing back mining cards, and by that I mean the RTX 30 series, but the mining version, so without a display outputs. But I guess if you kind of wanted to start your mining farm, then you're probably going to be happy, because those I would also expect to be a little bit cheaper. However, like I was saying, if you're a gamer who didn't get his hands on an RTX 3060 Ti, 3070 and all the way to the 3090, well, the situation is definitely not going to get better, especially because the same silicon is going to be used to produce or I guess to manufacture these graphics cards, and since we are not really seeing the situation on the market in terms of ability getting a little bit better, with this release I don't see how it would possibly get any better. Now, NVIDIA is also working on something else that I guess a lot of us have also been thinking about, especially if you are more on a budget, and that is the RTX 3050 Ti. And that one, I don't know exactly when is going to come to market, especially that we have seen the RTX 3060 is going to launch sometime in late February, if I remember correctly, from their CES presentation. However, I would say that chances are we're going to see this much rather in Q2 of 2021 rather than sometime by February or March, because otherwise they would have presented that to us as well. So I don't know, maybe we're going to get also a chance to see that in Q2 if things are going to be getting better. We're maybe going to see availability for this 50 card being a little bit better, and I would also expect it to be under $300, but not really 250, especially because the 3060 is going to start at the $329 US, and I'm obviously talking about the Founders Edition version, because the AAB partner cards are most probably going to be a lot pricier. And if you don't remember, with all of these new tariffs that are being imposed, and also the ongoing human malware pandemic and all of the gosh darn things that are happening in the world right now, I don't think that we're going to be seeing a lot of those cards, and I mean the 3060 going for 329 US dollars or euros if you live in Europe. I'd much rather expect them to start at something like 370. Maybe, I don't know. We're going to see whenever these cards are going to get launched, and I guess we're just going to have to wait for the 3050 Ti to come to fruition sometime in 2, 3, 4 months. I don't really know, but I'm going to keep you updated on that. Now, going back to the RTX 3060, it has now been confirmed that this graphics card is going to have fewer CUDA cores than we initially expected, and with regards to that, I'm going to have to go to my notes because I don't remember exactly the number of CUDA cores, and there I have it. So 3,584 CUDA cores instead of the 3,840 that we thought initially that this card is going to have. Now, we have also seen that the 12 gigabytes of GDDR6 RAM remain untouched, and the same can be said about the memory clock speeds, which remain at 15 gigabytes per second, although some AAB partners, if I remember correctly, have mentioned that the memory speed would have been, I don't remember exactly if it was higher or lower, but it wasn't being mentioned at 15 gigabytes through all of the AB partners. Now, in terms of boost clock frequencies, this card is going to go all the way to 1.77 gigahertz, and it will have a base of 1.32 gigahertz, and the TDP should be about 170 watts if I remember correctly, and like I was saying, prices should be about 329 for the FE models, but I can't say that the same is going to be for the AAB partner cards. And yeah, I guess NVIDIA decided to just quietly update all of those things. And another thing that they have quietly updated is their G-Sync Ultimate monitors and how they classify them. So the classification for that has now been changed. If you remember, back in the day, I guess, or at CS 2019 when they initially announced it, these were the monitors that had HDR and over 1000 nits peak brightness. Now it just means that whenever you're going to get your hands on one of those G-Sync Ultimate those monitors that are classified as G-Sync Ultimate, they are going to have lifelike HDR and about 600 nits of peak brightness, because this is what we have seen from some LG and MSI monitors. Not so much so with the another Asus monitor that has been announced. So I guess that one could still be classified as a G-Sync Ultimate monitor, also using the old classification. Now, I don't know what you guys think about that, but it's kind of sad that NVIDIA is doing all of those things, but I guess we're getting used to NVIDIA also doing all kinds of things behind our backs, should I say, just to keep it all polite. And lastly, I thought I would also include this piece of cute news, I guess, talking about the RTX 3060 mini ITX cards that are going to be released from MSI, Gainward, and also PNY. And if you remember, these companies have previously released some mini ITX graphics cards, and those were, I believe, going up to the 2070. And if I'm mistaken, then please correct me in the comments, because I can't remember exactly. But if you are thinking of building a really tiny, cute, small form factor PC, I guess you're going to be interested in picking up an RTX 3060 from one of those companies. And yeah, what can I say? If you don't want to buy yourself a laptop, then you could go that variant, because there are quite a few cases that are up to 10 liters. If I remember correctly, there was also a company that was featured on both Ali's channel, so Optimum Tech, and also on the Linus Tech Tips channel, and it was called something with a V. Either way, that one was about 5 or 6 liters. So if you are thinking of getting your yourself, like I was saying, a very small form factor PC, and I guess that's kind of the whole point of it. Instead of grabbing yourself a laptop, then you are most probably going to be able to do that, assuming that these cards are going to be in stock. And the same can be said about the laptops, and I guess that we're going to be talking about laptops in another future episode, as long as I can find more information about them, because at the moment information is still being a little bit scarce, should I say. Hey guys, Editing Alex here. I was just finishing up on the edit and then I realized I haven't talked about the GT 1010 that I had in my notes, so please allow me to talk about it really quickly just now. I mean, not that you should consider it or that you'll be able to buy it directly from NVIDIA, but I just find it funny and a really interesting thing to cover in the comment section with you guys. So if you remember the GT 710, the card is going to be an upgrade to that pretty much, but still not better than the NVIDIA MX graphics on some laptops. And as video cards noted, NVIDIA is probably trying to get rid of their old Pascal GPUs, and I simply found it way too hilarious not to cover it. And this one was uncovered by a YouTuber called Daps, and you're going to find the link to his video in the info cards above. So yeah, he managed to talk about it with someone from the NVIDIA customer support, but long story short, you're only going to get 256 CUDA cores on this GPU, 2 GB of GDDR5, and a boost of 1.46 gigahertz is like the maximum that you're most probably going to get, if at all. And don't expect that this GPU is going to be able to play any modern titles, but I heard that they had some pretty nice games in the early 2000s, so if you're interested in playing some of those, then I guess you're going to be able to do it with this card, or just pull a prank on your friends. Now, back to the video. But with that in mind, I am going to be talking more about laptops in a live stream that I'm going to be doing with Steven from OwnOrDisown and with Bob from Bob of All Trades. And I would also highly recommend that you guys subscribe to their channels, and obviously the usual shout out to Jarrod from Jarrod's Tech, who has posted a video today that I should probably be checking out, and maybe you guys are interested in watching that as well. If I remember correctly, he has tested an eGPU with an RX 6900 XT. So how about I go and edit this video and you guys go and watch that episode from Jarrod. Either way, thanks a lot for watching. I'll hopefully see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.